As a reminder, please silence all cell phones. Welcome to tonight's press conference for the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. Sacred Heart Sports Information Director is Allison Hogue. Tonight we are joined by head coach Jessica Minetti and student athletes Nysera Pryor and Kelsey Wood. Coach Minetti, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, thank you. This game was incredible. Stanford is a dynamic, balanced, very well-coached team. If you're going to lose to a team in the tournament, let it be to Stanford. I mean, just being able to play against that level of talent was such an incredible experience to witness. They almost had 7 players in double digits, and they have weapons all over the floor. And I think I'm the most proud of our kids because we weren't scared of that. We did a tremendous job starting the game at the pace we wanted, getting the shots we wanted, and really coming out of the gate firing. And I was really proud of our effort. I was really, really proud of the way that we responded through some of the runs they had. And at the end of the day, we did what we came here to do, which was compete nationally. We came here as an NEC champion. We won that first 4 game. And we're able to really bring a lot of pride to our university and make history. And, you know, unfortunately, most seasons end with a loss unless you win some sort of championship, but this doesn't feel like a loss to us today. So I'm very, very proud of our program.
We'll now take questions for the student athletes. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time for your questions.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. This question's for Nye. Just talk about your matchup with Talana Lapolo, what it was like going against her, and just how you felt that matchup went.
The matchup was great. You know, she's a great player. She pushes in transition just like how I do. So it was just a great experience to, you know, play somebody that's, you know, small like me with a, you know, a team that she's a lot of a lot of people that has, you know, height on her team, and she's one of the smaller ones. So it's just, you know, it was a great experience to go against her.
Nye, you obviously are shorter than most of the players that you go against, but is there a difference when you're going up against 6'3", 6'4", 6'7"? And I guess how did you feel that difference the most?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a different, you know, experience. You know, it's a lot of girls that's 6'7", 6'5". So I'm not used to that, but they allowed me to like get to the basket sometimes. Sometimes they got the blocks, sometimes they didn't. But I just had to take my time, you know, and they baited me into some shots, or to my shots because they're just long. But
Hi, Kelsey. Janie McCauley from AP. What is it like when Stanford just keeps bringing in tall players and depth and, you know, just so many different threats? I know your coach touched on it, but even without Cameron Brink, they're pretty loaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was difficult, obviously. I mean, they have 5 inches on me, so, you know, in the NEC, we're not really used to seeing that. But I think it was really good exposure for our team, and I think we handled it pretty well. But, you know, they're just big and they're strong and they're just great players. So, you know, we played really hard. All the posts were exhausted at the end of the game. But, you know, they're all great players, but it was really good exposure for us.
For both of you, when the first quarter is 5, it's only a 5-point deficit at the end. Obviously, it gets away later on, but is that something that you can look back on, and even just within that minute and within those minutes, you know, we're hanging pretty tough with one of the top teams in the country?
yeah, that'll sit with me for the rest of my life. You know, we stayed with Stanford in the first quarter. So I'm very proud of my team. You know, we're a very young team, so I'm just proud of them overall.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we were pretty hyped when the first media came out and we were up by like 2 points. I think it was 7-9. So we're like, oh my God, like we got this. But, you know, we kind of said we just got to keep playing our game, kind of have fun with it. But it was definitely an experience, and I'll never forget this.
Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. This is for Nye. After the game, I saw that Tara Vanderveer gave you a hug and said a few words to you. Could you maybe share what she said to you?
She said I'm a great player, you know. Take your time with it, and I'm young, so keep going.
What did that mean to you, Nye? Because I saw her do that, I mean, not only with Jessica, but she actually takes a minute during the handshakes and speaks to you all, and it's sincere. I mean, she's been doing it for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah, that's a great experience. You know, she's a great coach. And it means a lot to me. You know, she's a great coach, like I said. So to hear that from her is amazing.
Kelsey, when you guys come out to California, you barely have any time to even breathe after winning the NEC. To kind of, as you know that you're heading home and whatnot, what would you take away from just the week that this was, from winning your conference to flying into this game and these two?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take away every single experience that I had here in California, everything. I mean, even just winning the championship at home and then flying out here and getting the first NCAA win in NEC history. I mean, I can list 1,000 things that I'll remember. But really, I think I'll just remember this team forever. Like, we just connect and we have such a special bond that I've never felt with any other team. You know, we're all best friends. We're just amazing. So having this experience with my best friends is probably what I'm going to take away from this.
Kelsey kind of said it. Like, I'm going to remember this feeling for the rest of my life. Like, we played on Stanford court. Who would have ever thought? So I'm just proud of this team, and I'm looking forward to the years to come.
No, just kind of talk about kind of big picture for you, the success you've already had as a freshman, just kind of how excited you are, you know, have your freshman season go the way that it did. Mm-hmm. I think Tar mentioned you led the nation in steals, I think. Just talk about the ceiling that you feel you have and just how exciting it is to play so well as a freshman.
Yeah, I feel like the sky's the limit, you know. Why not run it back? A lot of people say you did everything your freshman year, but I'm trying to run it back, so I feel good. It's just an amazing experience, and it's a great feeling.
And then one from up here. It seemed like Haley Jones sparked the run for Stanford. What was it that made her so hard to defend, and as she got those buckets in the late first and the second quarter?
The game plan was to kind of play off, but she's just an awesome player. She knows how to make a move and get to the basket with ease. She knows how to finish with both hands, so it's hard to send her one way without sending her to the other side. So it's hard, but she's a great player, so she just made the adjustment.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, Nasira and Kelsey. You can rejoin your teammates in the locker room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll now take questions for Coach Minetti. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time for your questions.
All right, Coach. Michael Robertson, African-American athlete. So you kind of had a carbon copy, but the reversal, the reciprocal of what happened in the second quarter. You guys had single digits this game, but you forced them to single digits last game. So what did it feel like when you saw the momentum change like that in the second quarter?
You know, I am always prepared for runs in a game, right? Like we say, ride the high and survive the low. I probably should have called a timeout to break up the run a little quicker, but for us, we were really focused on offensive rebounds and live ball turnovers to really minimize their second chance opportunities or opportunities off of our mistakes. And I think those moments got away from us a little bit, and our response offensively, unfortunately, was to take a quick shot. So I think we gave them a couple possessions quickly after we couldn't score and maybe we had made a mistake. And obviously it never feels good to have to go through that other side of it, but they're such a great team and they make you pay. When you play teams at this level, and obviously Stanford is a well-oiled machine. I mean, you see them in the transition advantage. You blink off of a turnover and it's a layup. I mean, you can't get there fast enough to stop that quick transition advantage. So I think for us, we just had to calm down a little bit, settle down. We got to that media and I said, hey, we got to settle down a little bit, take better shots. And we were shooting well in that first quarter, and we just couldn't really hit. I thought we took some good shots in that second quarter. We just couldn't hit. And sometimes when you don't see the ball go through the basket, things compound and you just can't stop it fast enough. So, you know, I thought we responded well coming out of the half to just try and get settled back again. But, you know, when Haley sparks a run like that, I mean, she's one of the best players in the country for a reason. And I give her so much credit. I give her team so much credit. They are relentless. They are absolutely relentless. Like, you think you disrupted them and forced a great shot, and it's like, boom, O-board, put back, and you're like, oh my God, how do you stop it? So it was certainly a different experience. We've never played a team that is this level, this high of a level. And I think our players were really exposed to it, and they loved it. They loved this experience to say, wow, like there is, within Division I, there are so many different levels, and this is one of the best teams in the country. And while we got to hang with them for a quarter, they really showed why they were one of the best teams in the country in that second quarter, for sure.
Alex Simon from Bay Area News Group. 2 questions for you, Jessica. Obviously, it didn't seem to impact them to some extent, but when did you find out that Cameron Brink wasn't going to play tonight? And I guess how much was she a part of your guys' game plan for them?
Yeah, she is such a special player, isn't she? And I found out like 30 minutes before the game. My staff came in and told me. They said she hadn't been warming up, and there was a public announcement, I think. So I didn't tell the team before. I didn't tell the team in our after the warm-up. I told them right before the game. I said, oh, by the way, 22, Cameron isn't dressing tonight. And I think that gave them a little bit of reprieve. They were like, oh, all right, that's great. Who are they getting? I didn't want to tell them that her sub was a 6'7" freshman. But they figured that out very quickly. But I think it gave them a little reprieve to go into that first quarter with a little confidence, knowing that they weren't going to be at their full strength. You know, obviously they can win without her. They're better with her. She's such a big piece of their inside game. So we found out kind of late, which I think was better for us because then we could celebrate that quickly.
And then obviously, if it's a close game, you don't get these type of moments. But when you can pull your players off and give them a hug, I did notice you tearing up just a little bit at a few points there in the fourth. What are those moments like as a coach when you can kind of hug a player and kind of have a little sense of finality?
It's hard to put into words the feeling that you have after a season like we've had, right? And we're coming to play here at Stanford, and being able to watch them fight and finish out this dream season, it, like I said earlier, doesn't feel like a loss. So when we're able to sub them out and celebrate them one at a time and just take that deep breath, we've played 6 games, I think, in 14 days. I mean, and we've been bi-coastal with it. So to be able to take that breath and finally say, oh my gosh, like this is it. This is the last game. We're not gonna have to go to bed and then wake up early and scout prep and prepare for something else. We can really celebrate this moment where, wow, we've done some really amazing things for Sacred Heart, for the NEC, for everybody that's ever supported us. Let's take that moment right now and just be really grateful.
What did this week mean to you, and what will be one of your lasting memories of this week?
It's hard to put into words. As a coach, you dream of seasons like this one. You don't always get them, and you don't always have the opportunity to coach players that impact your life. You know, as a coach, you always try to impact their life, and we started 3 freshmen tonight. We came from a 8th place last year. We lost 4 of our 5 top scorers. We didn't know who we were. We had no identity through non-conference. And to be a part of this turnaround, to be a part of the support that we've had for our program, to be a part of this young group's belief, I think I said that in the locker room, you believed. There was never a doubt in your mind that we could be great and we could be special. And you did that. Nobody gave that to you. And as a coach, to be a part of that, to say, oh my gosh, these young women are inspiring and amazing. I will never forget everything that we've gone through over the last 2 weeks. I will never forget playing here at Stanford, where as a little girl, you dream about these moments. And once you feel it, you never want to not feel it again. So I think it will keep us hungry and driven to be able to return back here and maybe do more next time. You know, this is an unbelievable start for our program. To give our university, our president called wishing us luck this morning, the national exposure it's given us, the belief, the fight, it's amazing. And I'm very blessed to be able to coach these kids and be a part of what they decided they wanted to be this year.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. You already kind of touched on what I was going to ask, which is what's going to be the key to building on this and looking ahead to, building on this for next season, because you guys have accomplished so much. A lot of programs could feel like, hey, we've kind of accomplished everything and stay stagnant. What's the key to keeping your players hungry and making those next steps you want to make as a program?
So you You talk to Nye. She's absolutely relentless. She's one of the most competitive players I've ever coached, and she's our captain. She was named captain 4 games into our season. She will not let us let up. Her foot is always on the gas, and her team goes with her. She takes them with her. So I think for Sacred Heart, this is a huge stepping stone towards what we want to continue to build. You know, the NEC has been on the map the last couple days. The women have won their first 4 game. The men won their first 4 game and just upset Purdue today, which is amazing, right? We're so proud of our conference. We're so proud of our university and the support they rallied to give women's basketball. This is our starting point, right? Winning that first 4 game and making history. Why not do it again? Why not be able to get into this tournament and do it again at that next level that we want to challenge ourselves to get to? And I think with our young players like Nye and Amelia and Sierra and our players that are returning, I think the sky is the limit with this group. They're really special and young. A part of me thinks we won because they didn't know any better about how hard it was this year to win in March. And so I'm excited to continue to build, and I'm excited to continue to have the support that we've had and the belief that we've had. Belief is half the battle here, and I think we believe.
Last question.
Yeah, just with Stanford's depth, was there anybody, as you're scouting them, was there anybody that kind of stood out today where you were like, oh, we weren't expecting her to not just play, but play as well as they did?
No. I wish I could tell you that we didn't have high levels of respect for every one of their players. I mean, the scouting report was like 3 pages. I was like, we have to know every single one of these kids because like I said, they're so talented. They're going to play deep into this tournament. They have weapons that just keep coming off the bench, right? Like, there's no drop off. There's no like 7, 8, 9 where you come in and you're like, oh, she's not going to be. They're great. Every player is very talented and very capable. And I think for us, we just knew that we would have to fight for 40 minutes because they were not going to stop. And they didn't. And I have so much respect for that.
Thank you, Coach, and congrats on a great season.
Thank you so much.
We'll now have a short break and be back with Stanford's press conference.